WIDR Kalamazoo, and you're listening to 89.1 WIDR FM, your source for radio evolution. And I'm your host, Katie Joe, and we have a special program today. We are here with the band Saturdays at Your Place. So we're doing a little interview with them today. So if you all just want to introduce yourselves, that'd be...
Hello, I'm Gabe. I sing and I play the drums.
I'm Mazden. I sing and I play bass.
I'm Mitch and I play guitar.
Amazing. Now we're just going to start off with, I just like complimenting, so that's kind of what we're going to do. So you guys have a really Midwest emo vibe to your music, and I just honestly love it so much. I'm kind of geeking and fangirling a little bit that I get that opportunity. But your music is just really enjoyable to listen to, especially with those sick guitar riffs. That's for sure. But before we get started with the depth of everything, I have a little icebreaker question. If your newest album, These Things Happen, was a kind of coffee, what would it be?
It'd be an Ethiopian blend.
Wow.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Do you want to go into that depth, or?
It's just got a lot of different flavors.
Amazing.
It's pretty rich.
Yeah.
I'd say.
Anything
I don't know if I can top that. I don't know if you're expecting a different answer.
If you want to agree, that's okay.
I think I will agree with that.
Yeah.
I think you hit the nail on the head with that one.
Yeah. That one is just an Ethiopian.
It's those beans they're so rich. They have so much flavor. I feel like they have a wide spectrum. I think this album covers a big spectrum of sound.
Oh, I love that. And then do you guys have any favorite coffee orders or anything like that?
What was that one coffee we had the other day, that Thai coffee, when we were on tour?
It was Thai coffee or Vietnamese or something. It's made with condensed milk.
Is that the only difference? That was really good.
Yeah.
That sounds very interesting, actually.
But I'm not good at making coffee.
No, neither am I, honestly. I wish I was. I was a barista, and then I can't do it at home, though.
I've got a question for you then.
Yeah.
What happened to coffee-flavored coffee?
Flavored coffee. Yeah, no.
Pumpkin spice this, unicorn latte that. I'm just a black coffee guy.
I like the little girly coffees. Give me a nice iced vanilla latte with some cold foam or something. I can't do.
I love my cup of mud.
The cup of mud.
Yeah.
That's crazy. No, my boyfriend really enjoys Americanos, and I think it just tastes absolutely awful. I just can't do it.
It's part of the appeal.
If you're only drinking black coffee, then you haven't lived.
You know what?
I normally walk in and I look at the menu and I order whatever they have the craziest picture of.
Yeah. That's how you do it.
The seasonal one that's $9.
Yeah.
Yep.
Off of my broke college student budget, don't think I could do that, but I do it anyway. So I can agree with that for sure. But let's get into some history of your band questions. I just want to know more about you guys as a band. So where does the name Saturdays at Your Place come from? It's kind of chill, very mellow. It's it's fun. So where does that come from?
Gabe can explain this one.
Oh, thank you. We just needed names. We'd been playing shows for a little while and we needed to call ourselves something. And we just went through a whole list of names. We got some notebooks, and I just brainstormed, every name that I thought had potential for a band. And we landed on Saturdays at Your Place. We had a few different options. We had desk van, which meant some crazy thing. And then we had, just variations of the name. I don't know. I didn't like it much at first. But we all fought for something else. But eventually, it got overruled.
Yeah, we wanted it to be Desk Van.
Yeah.
Desk Van.
And the other member at the time wanted it to be Saturdays at Your Place. But we like to thank him for that.
Yeah.
Like, thank you so much for your contribution.
Thanks for not letting us choose that horrible name.
Desk Man would be a very interesting.
Yeah, it made a song name, but that's it.
Yeah.
It really doesn't roll off the tongue.
Nah, not like Saturdays at Your Place. Come on. So, Saturdays at Your Place, you guys started releasing music in 2021. Is that correct? Yeah. So, how did you all like meet to become the band? And were you all originally from like Kalamazoo, Michigan? Did you come from different places? How did that start?
We came from different places and met through a mutual friend that we all knew once we were in Kalamazoo here. Western is like kind of loosely involved because I think that's what like brought me and Gabe to Kalamazoo. And Eston's from not too far from here, but it's also the reason he ended up here.
We were in the MAT program, me and Gabe. And our mutual friend was also in that program.
Gotcha.
So, but I mean, neither of us graduated.
Gotcha. But you still got that experience.
Yes. Yeah, I actually dropped out to go on our first tour.
Really?
So I guess it was like a decent reason.
Yeah.
At the time, it seemed a little bit crazy, but now it's paid off a little bit.
Yeah. No.
Maybe not in the long run, but for now.
You guys are really climbing that Midwest emo vibe. Like, the charts on that one.
We're trying.
But so this. Ooh, sorry. So what has like been the biggest turning point for your band so far? So like online and tour, anything like that?
Online, probably when tarot cards started to get some traction. But overall, I'd say the first like big tour we went on with Free Throw, Prince Daddy and the Hyena and Charmer, that I think is what really solidified us for a lot of people, and it put us in front of a lot of people that we wouldn't have gotten the chance to play in front of otherwise. And like that tour is kind of when it felt like we started to really move forward.
Yeah. And do you guys agree or like have any other like thoughts on that?
Yeah, I think we caught some traction in the house show scene around here. There's a big platform for artists, like just house shows happening every single weekend. And it's just, if you're an artist trying to play shows, you could play shows every single weekend if you wanted to, and that's what we did. And that kind of gave us like a jumping off point. And then, from there, all that stuff happened.
We were playing house shows like some weeks, like 2 or 3 times. Really getting our reps in. Yeah. Really making yourself known in that house show scene. No, yeah, that's awesome. I do. Yeah, Kalamazoo does have a really good scene in that sense. So I kind of want to move on into like kind of your music and where your inspiration came from. So like what kind of bands like do you guys listen to? Where did you draw your inspiration for your sound? Like stuff like that. So I guess what was the inspiration?
For this new record, I think a lot of Tiger's Jaw. Modern Baseball is kind of just kind of an underlying one that never really changes. But I'd say, a lot of Tiger's Jaw, Modern Baseball, definitely like some like classic Midwest emo influence as far as like the guitar playing goes, like just some of those like first few waves of emo bands, I think, at least. And then that's really all I have for influences on it. Anyone else?
A lot of my guitar style in the last year or two I picked up from bands that we played with. You got a Hot Mulligan sticker up there. I've like gotten really into their stuff over the last couple of years. And Ben Quad and Carly Cosgrove are both people I've learned a lot from just watching them. Like Carly Cosgrove uses some chords and like just the way the chords are put together, they like play off of each other so nicely, and that's something that I've like tried to bring out in a lot of the stuff that I write. And just like guitar lead lines and stuff there's a balance between simple and complicated, and there's like this sweet spot in the middle that is hard to find, and I'm getting closer by like paying attention to the way that the bands that are making a lot of noise right now are doing it.
Right. Yeah, and do you have anything, Gabe?
I love Hippocampus. Love that band. They're a great inspiration. I really like taking it in more of like the Tiger's Jaw direction, and like a little bit more like indie instead of like rocky, I guess, than what we've normally sounded like. And I think I listen to like a lot of music like that, and so it's really fun to see like that, becoming more present in our music.
Yeah, so like
The calmer stuff.
Yeah, the calmer, what you listen to like on your own, like in your own time.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's awesome. I really enjoy that.
Gabe kind of brings a lot of like the pop, like indie influence to the sound. Whereas to me and Mitch have more of like an classic like emo. Like we all like the same music, but I would say that's Gabe brings a little more pop.
Yeah, like kind of blending all of that together, like it's very like, what do I want to say, like harmonious.
Yeah, it works. It works all right.
It works. Yeah, it's great.
It lands in a really cool middle ground, and I definitely think it's a strength that we all share an appreciation for emo music, but outside of that, we all kind of listen to some pretty different stuff. So it comes together in a cool way.
Yeah, so like Taylor Swift is obviously like your guys' favorite artist.
We all love Sabrina Carpenter though.
Oh heck
and
yeah.
Obviously Chapel.
Yes. Oh yes. Beautiful. Everybody needs to love them.
I like Back to December though. I like some of the songs.
Heck yeah. I'm a big Swiftie sometimes, but
our sound guy is a big Swiftie.
Heck yeah.
Yeah,
See, we'll get along.
Yeah. You guys would hit it off.
Heck yeah. So moving on to like your song Tarot Cards. That was like the breakout song for Saturdays at your place. So what do you remember about like writing that song or recording it?
It started with Esden had the like your friends don't like me, like that hook, and we sort of worked our way out from that. He also he had the guitar lead for the bridge, so he kind of had some chords and like a general vibe with those lyrics.
That's pretty much it. I mean, then we all like most of our songs either start with one of us kind of brings a bass,
right,
and then we all kind of build from there. We get together like the three of us and build it out live. Like me or Gabe or Mitch will bring an idea, and then we'll go from there and building on top of it. So we all kind of have our own influence in writing it.
Gotcha. So like, do you guys write it down in like a notebook? Do you record your sessions and then go back and listen to them?
We record it.
Yeah,
with
you
a
record
very
it.
terribly recorded iPhone voice memos.
Gotcha.
We should release those one day. Just a voice memo album. You can barely tell which song is which.
Yeah, it's honestly not very efficient, but that's how we work.
Hey.
That's this far.
It got you this far, so it works at some point. So your new album, These Things Happen, is releasing on September 12th this year. What was like the process like recording and making the new album, and is it like similar or different to how you made your previous albums?
This one, we did a lot of the writing in the studio this time, whereas beforehand we showed up with at least the like the instrumentals for each song pretty much fleshed out. So that's pretty different on this one. We also did a lot of the recording, like instrument by instrument. Whereas with Always Cloudy and Something Worth Celebrating, we recorded most of it, the three of us in the room together, actually playing through the songs, and then we would go back and like layer in the extra stuff afterwards. So there's like with the older stuff, it's cool because you can kind of capture that. We're in the room like feeding off of each other when we're playing the songs. But the way we recorded it this time around is when you really hone in on each instrument, you can pay a lot more attention to how each thing sounds. So it was cool to kind of see the benefits of like approaching it that way with this one.
Yeah, that's really cool. So you guys were in studio doing it that way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we also did like some writing in the studio, which is like something we haven't done before. Like going with a basic song, but not having all the parts fleshed out. And then I would sit down and write a bass part with everybody else around me saying, you should do this, you should do that. Like, which was, it's a different approach, but it's very fun. I liked it. Getting to write a little bit in the studio, and we also did do some live tracking as well. So we got like the best of both worlds on this one, I would say.
Yeah,
if you'd agree.
Yeah, I think we've been searching for like the exact environment that gives us the like spark of inspiration, that we can't like replicate. So we have to like control our environment as much as possible. And so we tried like cabin trips, like we tried, like just all splitting up and then coming back together, and we tried like brute forcing it for a whole day. And I feel like we enjoy writing in the studio the most, and it's definitely like a bigger risk feeling, but that like leads to the most inspiration and like the most hands on deck without like being so exhausted.
Yeah. So do you guys think that that's what you're going to continue doing like for the rest? Like,
Hopefully.
Yeah.
hopefully.
Yeah. I think it's all situational too. I think it depends every song. I think everything.
Yeah.
But that is what I would prefer. Like that's how I prefer to write now, and it's I feel like a lot of bands work really hard to get to that point. So for us to get to do this with this one was really fun.
Yeah.
It also, like, we've been working on this album for so long, and we had this big grand idea because a band's second album is so important. So there's been a ton of pressure on this, and we kind of just, it all kind of fell together at once, like in the span of a couple months. Like, so it was, that's like a big part of the name. It's like These Things Happen is from, I don't know if you've seen the film Magnolia. It's Paul Thomas Anderson. It's the line from that movie, because this album is a lot like that, where there's multiple stories and they're all related, but really not for any other reason than they are.
Right.
It just happens.
Yeah.
So like that's kind of like, that's a big difference with this one, is like we worked for so long to try and get it perfect, and then it just like happened,
Gotcha.
which was nice.
Yeah. So how long did this album take to make then?
It depends on how you look at it. We've sort of had it in the backs of our minds maybe since, but we knew something was coming. We knew it would be an album for maybe the last year. And I don't know, this one was really unique in that the other stuff we wrote, and we didn't have much of an audience when we put those out, so it was very easy to just kind of freely write, not scrutinize much, and just kind of put out what we had. But this time around, it's been like a couple years now since Always Cloudy's come out, and it's gained so much traction that it feels like we have all these eyes on us. So it took a really long time to get comfortable and almost like relearn our specific writing process that like works for the three of us, because we put so much focus on touring and like kind of riding the wave of that release. So it did. It took a while for it to come around and then kind of all fall together. But like Eston was saying, it was really cool to see it all come into place in the last few months. Like that, maybe a couple months ago, we really didn't even know what this album would look like or sound like. And then, within just a few weeks, it kind of starts coming together. And then by the time we left the studio, it was really cool to like have something that we could all be proud of.
Yeah. So do you think that like becoming more popular like in the like Midwest emo scene like has put a lot of pressure on your like music style, or do you still think that?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Especially when you're just like writing a song at the very beginning, like before anything, just coming up with ideas. Like there's a lot of pressure on every song. Like knowing that you have an audience does change it. And then for me, it causes me to like, I just throw things away. like I have for this album, I've probably got like 30 something like 1-minute song ideas that I've just like, I not trashed, I didn't delete them, but it's like in my mind I've trashed them because it's like that's not good enough, you know. And that's something we kind of learned to break out of by the end of this, I would say.
Yeah. It's kind of like, am I good enough? Like, why am I writing? Like, why do I get to be this person? Like, do I even have anything to say?
Right.
Like, is this, poppy enough? Like, is this going to alienate other fans? Because now we have other work that's already out previously. So, like, we want to stay true to who we are. But also, like, does this resonate as much as, like, something else, some other genre, It's like all that's going through our heads while we're writing as well. And it's really hard to just like be purely like inspired and purely just like write what you want.
Right. Yeah. So with like the lyrics of like just all of your songs, how do you come up with those?
For me, when I'm writing, that usually they'll go like hand in hand, like with, I'll figure out the, the guitar part or whatever. And then, the lyrics will come too, just like based on kind of like how I want to say like words in that song. That's why I feel like that's not a good habit though for writing, and a lot of the time it's based on how I feel at that specific moment, and like I have to be in a very specific place to be able to get like music and lyrics out all at once. I think sometimes, more rarely, I'll have lyrics on my phone that like I'll draw from, or like I'll remember, I'll be like, I want to say that line that I have that's written down. But when it feels the best when it all happens all at once. But and then like you'll go back and like change some things and be like, oh, well, that's not exactly like what I want to say. So you can like edit it from there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you draw from like personal experience?
Yeah, definitely.
For sure.
100%.
Yeah.
I think for me, I do things a lot different from Gabe. I like usually will get like the whole structure of a song, and then I will write a melody for the vocals, and then I write vocals on top of it. Like I might have an idea of what I want to say, like when I'm starting the instrumental, but at least for this one, like the songs that I brought, just started with me fleshing out that whole instrumental, and then it was. It's tough because you want to get a catchy melody, right? Because that's the most important thing.
Right.
But then over top of that melody, you're like, what do I really want to say?
Right.
So for me, like it was getting the lyrics. I rewrote lyrics like crazy for this one. I would have a whole song done and then just like scrap it, rewrite it because I didn't feel like it was good enough.
Right.
And it was just a lot of pressure. I feel like, especially to get the lyrics right, because the melody you can get. Like anybody can like hum something catchy and be like, I think that sounds good.
Right.
But like really honing ourselves in lyrically I feel like it's tough.
Yeah. No, for sure. And I think like in the past, like with your lyrics and stuff, it's very, very fun to listen to, like kind of just get into that vibe. So with that being said, I want to know like, what are each of your guys' like favorite songs that you've worked on in like the history of your band so far?
The first one that came to mind was It's Always Cloudy in Kalamazoo. I got to have fun with like some new stuff that I haven't gotten to do before with my guitar parts. Like there's tapping in that one. It's just fun to play, like kind of satisfying to play through. On this new album, I think Waste Away was a lot of fun to write. It really feels like we struck that balance between like the driving emo like instrumental sound, and then when we got to hear the lyrics that Esden had, it really tied it all together with like the catchy hook and the melody and everything. So that one was really satisfying to see come together.
Yeah.
For me, I think that this is tough. There's 2 songs on the new album. The next one's coming out tomorrow, actually.
Oh.
It's called What Am I Supposed to Do? Or Midnight Tonight. but that is one of the ones where Gabe had kind of written the song. I don't think you had drums on it at the time. It was just you and acoustic.
Right. It was just like a little demo drum kit.
Yeah. And then we took that into the studio, and like I got to write a bass part from scratch, and we got to add, like, Gabe would sit in the corner with a synth and just be like brainstorming while Mitch was recording guitar. And like that one felt like we like kind of got to produce it like a pop song. And that was my favorite one so far. But it also, at the time, we were also working on, it's the closer on the album. It's also a Gabe song. It's called I Give In. It's a slower song, but it's just got so much feel to it. And we just got to add so much stuff. And I feel like, I don't know. I'm really proud of those two songs specifically on this album.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I would agree the same. I Give In is like Eat Me Alive Part 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I really enjoyed making What Am I Supposed to Do? I feel like I like tried really hard to, tell like a coherent story and like expands my range like vocally. So that I'm the most nervous about that one, but I think I like where it's ended up, and it's definitely different, and it was really fun to make.
Yeah. So I guess my last like music question that I have for you guys is like, I just kind of want you to tell us about the album. Like, what was like the vibe of it? Anything you like to talk about, like the story of it, anything like that?
I feel like just for me, the overall like feelings of the album is kind of like, it mirrors like my personal life, where I've done a lot of growing up, and I'm still obviously nowhere near like where I want to be, but I feel like I can handle a lot, more situations, and I want to be in a lot more situations that I wouldn't have previously. And I think just like learning conversation and like learning where we fit like in the world, and I think like understanding where I am now based on what's happened to me before, and like the experiences that I have, I think was like my biggest theme. I wanted to be able to like honestly tell stories from where I was currently like in life, and yeah, I guess that's kind of where that ends.
Yeah, I feel like I hear that a lot in your songs on this album. For me, I think this one is different. The songs that I wrote feel different in a way that they're a lot more existential.
Gotcha.
I just like dealing with interpersonal problems and kind of being, I don't know, the world as it is a pretty like dark place right now. And I think a lot of my songs kind of feed off of that, and just feeling the way I do, living in this world, and also just dealing with my own personal issues. I think that a lot of the albums before were definitely maybe more fun songs, but like I wouldn't say that the melody or the instrumentals aren't fun, but definitely lyrically, I think my songs have gotten a little bit darker.
Gotcha.
But
yeah,
I think that it's mostly just about the environment. Like I feel like, and just being in this world at this time, I think has caused me to have a lot more like inner questioning.
Right.
I don't want to like goof around, or like like I want to like take this stuff seriously, because it's so like such like what I'm saying, like lyric content wise, like it's such like a brutal world, and like my big question is like why do we get to do this? And so you want to say like at least important to us stuff and honest stuff,
right? And it's also like we owe it to the people that listen to us, like I feel like we owe them our honest art, and also just like providing that escape, like in this world.
Yeah.
I feel like at least like some of like our more fun songs or like faster, like it's usually, at least a lot of them are written. I have the audience in my head with me. Like, how is the audience going to participate with this? Like our shows, we really want to be an escape from that. I think that a lot of people go to shows to forget.
Yeah.
Or not forget, get their mind off of it. It's always on the back of our minds, but just being able to have fun for a little bit and feel a sense of, this sounds corny and cliche, but a sense of community within the scene.
Right.
So
yeah. And Fitch?
Yeah, I think that that's a nice kind of like introduction to like the direction I want to answer this in. Is that in a lot of ways it's like a development and a more mature take on like the sound that we'd had established from before, especially with the lyrical content, but also in that Always Cloudy I was really proud of the way that we were able to cover so much ground musically. Like the first song and the last song on that album sound and feel like quite different from each other. But if you listen to it in full, like it feels pretty cohesive. And I think this album is a really cool continuation of that. And being that it's a full album, we had space to cover even more ground musically. And I think we did it in a way that still really like feels complete and like kind of self-contained and like really like cohesive. So to be able to do that and then like push ourselves musically and then have the lyrics move in a new kind of more mature direction to reflect that as well. I think I'm really excited to like get this out and like as I was saying with the shows, like to play it at shows and to see like how it resonates with like the people that are coming out to see us play it.
Right. No, that's so awesome. And I'm very excited for this new album. I'm so excited to listen to it.
Thank you.
Yeah, so finally I kind of want to get into like future plans for you guys, like what you guys are doing. So where do you see Saturdays at Your Place in like the next few years? Like where do you hope you'll be at?
Well, we've got a tour coming up. Like we're touring the album. It's our second headlining tour, and we're doing full US and Europe and the UK.
Wow.
Yeah, so that's kind of like the first thing that's on our minds. And I mean, in the next few years, who knows? We're just going to stay busy, try and play with bands we haven't gotten to play with yet, make new friends, and just continue like touring and writing also. But touring, just it seems like that's on our mind more right now after this, having the album just out. Like there's a lot of touring, I think, in the next year or so.
Yeah. So just tours. That's it.
Yeah, be doing exactly what we're doing now still.
Heck yeah.
Yeah. We will. I mean, we're going to be writing. We're hoping to put out music more consistently now that we've kind of found a flow.
Yeah.
So like that's also on our minds as well, is writing and recording. But we're just always busy. We got stuff going on.
You always got something.
It's cool to have gotten to a point, and it feels like it happened so fast. But to have gotten to a point where we can go on tour now, and people are showing up, and all the pieces are kind of in place, and it's becoming this kind of like finely tuned machine. At least the way it looks from the outside. There's so much going on the inside, but it's a really fun and like cool place for us to be. And I think that for a while I got so caught up in like what's the next step, or like where are we trying to get. And I think like personally I'm trying to be a little more like grounded in like what's actually going on around me right now, because it's so fast paced and it's so chaotic and it's so easy to get caught up in all the decisions and like, are we making the right decision on every single like thing that gets put in front of us? And it's I think it feels good to kind of feel like we've gotten to the point where we know where we're at and we're not completely in new territory all the time. So I think like Eston was saying, with getting music out more consistently, I think we're, or at least me personally, we're like getting comfortable to the point where we at least to an extent know what to expect, so we can find like a balance and a flow with writing and touring and seeing how that all fits in together.
Yeah. So that's awesome. I mean, even with like all the what you're going on, like you're going on tour, you're making new songs, you finally found a flow that works for everybody. So it's looking like what you're looking forward to in the next few months is like touring and having like your fans and people hear your music. Is that?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I think just getting this thing out, because you you hear it so much, and then it's like once you're ready to put it out and it's mastered and it's done, and then you're like, all right, no one gets to hear it for 3 months or whatever, 4 months, and then you're just like, I just want it to be out. Like I'm curious to, like, I hope people like it, obviously, but it's also like I'm curious to see what people think.
Right, it's like that anticipation.
Yeah.
If you're like, if you think it's suspenseful waiting for it to come out, we're like, there's, it's like 10 times that for us.
right, because you like finished it like a month or so ago.
Oh, 2, 3. We finished it in May?
Yeah, and this is really fast. Like
this is the fastest turnaround we've ever done.
Really?
Because it all just came together. Like I said, it all just came together at once.
Right.
And then it was like, it just moved really fast from that point. So.
Well, that's awesome. I mean, that's great.
Yeah, we hope it's going to be good. We'll see.
It feels good to have like the actual physical hard work of writing and recording it out of the way, and now it's a matter of just hoping that we did everything right.
Right. Yeah. Like just that anticipation. It's kind of, it's a weird place to be. I can definitely understand that. So I guess I kind of want you guys to plug what's coming out next. What song is it? Was it released? We want to hear it.
At midnight tonight.
Tonight?
Yeah. What am I supposed to do?
Heck yeah.
Yeah. And it's a Gabe song. It's tied for my personal favorite on this album. Gabe, do you want to say anything about it?
Thank you.
You're welcome.
No, I just think I'm really proud of this one, and you guys should listen to it and let us know what you think.
Heck yeah. Where can we reach you?
Anywhere.
Instagram.
I'm not doing this, Will.
We're on Instagram. We've got a website, www.saturdaysyourplace.com. You can find pretty much everything there.
Yep.
We live around here. I'm at the West Edge Mire a lot. So you can find me there.
Waldo's.
Yeah.
Playing pool.
Beautiful. All right. Well, is there anything else you'd like to say about anything like on your mind, about the album, about your past music?
No, this was a good time. Thanks again for inviting us in here.
Yeah. Thank you so much for coming. This is great. This is awesome. I'm geeking and finally out of that like weird spot. So but thank you again for joining us. And again, you're listening to 89.1 WIDR FM, your source for Radio Evolution. And let's get back to your regularly scheduled programming.